Mr. Cox, what's going
What's
on?
up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Glad to be back at it, man. This was our second episode of the year, so we're good to go. We're gonna do. We got a good show tonight, everybody. We got a little bit of political news. We're gonna talk some NFL playoffs, and then we're gonna talk the NCAA football championship that we had on MLK Day this year, man. So I'm really looking forward to it. And then we got some great shows coming up over the next 3 or 4 weeks, man. We got some good guests that are coming on, and we're looking forward to it. As always, man, we need everybody to hit that subscribe button, so you can get our content as soon as it comes out. Follow us on the social media platforms, X, Spoutable, and you can get our full content on YouTube. So we appreciate it, and I'm ready to get going, brother.
Okay. Yeah. As usual, like I said, like Suleiman said, let's go ahead and hit the support, subscribe, and any comments you want to put down there and everything. I hope you like our new intro. We're gonna
That
have
was
some new
sweet, man. That was sweet.
stuff that we're gonna put out there. We're gonna try to keep it fresh. We're gonna have some features this year. We're gonna try to get some of our partners that work with us in the military and different agencies. We're gonna try to get them to come by and do their story, what they do, how they got to where they are, and everything else. We're gonna try to help some of these young black men and anybody else that want our help to try to get to the best place they can at this time in their life and everything. We're also gonna I'm gonna have a few feature starting in the next couple weeks where I'm going to talk about my journey with prostate cancer. Something that I think all black men in particular, all men in particular, but black men in particular, need to pay special attention to. And what I'm going to do with that time is I'm going to try to give you some facts about the uh, the disease, and then I'm going to try to tell you what some of the solutions are, and some figures and stuff. And then I'll tell you about my journey from the beginning to where I am now. And hopefully, like I said, this will help some people in the future and stuff. Okay. So let's get right at it. Let's get right at it. So what do you think, Suleiman, is the top story of the week?
To me, I think the top story is the this is what the American people voted for. I mean, I think Donald Trump is in office. He has no guardrails, and he's going to do what he's been promising for a very long time, which is um, you know take people who are less fortunate and make them more less fortunate. He's going to try to destroy the federal government where it doesn't work, where people like him and his fellow billionaire people were going to gut the government of every tax dollar um, that we have. He's going to turn people who live in the Midwest and the South against people, hardworking people here in the D.C. area, by essentially saying federal workers aren't doing their job. I mean, he's already put out no more supposedly DEI programs, um, to basically lay those people off. So yeah, he's doing exactly what he wanted to do, which is to destroy the government so they can get rich. So I think that's the biggest story. I think a lot of Americans don't recognize what's coming, and it's going to be sad. It's going to be sad to see people who voted for this guy who think that he was coming to help them. They're going to see their jobs go away and their opportunities become limited.
Yeah, yeah. Well said. The thing about DEI is, and I did a little research on it today and everything when I heard everything that's going on. Just like welfare, American people got a warped sense of what it's about. In welfare, everybody in America, well, I ain't gonna say that 'cause I can't. Uh, Most people in America think it benefits black people or people of color, but welfare benefits white people more than it benefits any other color.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing with DEI. DEI, they always look at the first word, diversity. They don't look at the equality and inclusion, because DEI not only helps people of color, it helps the handicapped. You got it. These offices protect the handicapped from not being hired. They make sure that you have proper equipment and offices and buildings so that people in wheelchair can get in and out of the building safely. Uh, DEI is more than a lot of people think it is. All they can see is all they can see is diversity, and and that ain't even a bad thing. So uh, by shutting these offices down, and you notice that he put them on paid leave because he's gonna have to deal with a union, a powerful union too, and American people gonna want to know, why are you sending people home to collect tax dollars and not working? You know, it that you're gonna have to figure that out. But my biggest story of the week so far is Donald Trump uh, releasing criminals back on the street and everything right away.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy thing about it is everybody kept saying that he's more organized this time and he's gonna go about things the right way. Well, from reports, it said that they were in the process of trying to figure out who they were going to pardon, and Donald Trump or one of his minions said, "Fuck it, let's just release all of them." They didn't want to do the work. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
do the work. So just throw your hands up the air and let everybody go. Everybody go. Now, if American people are smart, they'll say, how can you be uh, the president for police officers and for law and order when you just let a whole bunch of felons out of the prison? And they show no remorse. You can see the reports today. These guys and some of these girls, not all of them, but right out of their mouth are saying we need retribution. And they're going back to what they were doing before they went there. And he sit there and lied about they've been in prison for a long, long time. It's real terrible. It's a real terrible places, and it's just not right for people that prison is prison. What do you think about all these other people in prison?
Well, he don't care.
Yeah,
I mean, all
yeah,
he cares about are the people who
yeah,
pledge allegiance to him, and because they're white. I
yeah,
mean, because there are lots of black people, hundreds of thousands of black folks that are in jail unjustly.
yeah,
And
yeah,
if he was really concerned about getting people out of bad situations, then he would take the time to review those cases and potentially release some people. But that's
yeah.
not what it's about. He promised all these MAGA idiots that he was going to do it, and he has to do it. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, no. That's where we're going at, is trying to figure out, you know, how long will it take for them, if at all, figure out that he ain't for them? How long will it take? That's my next question. How
No,
long will it take? Will they figure it out, or will they not figure it out and just go along with the okie doke? I don't know.
listen, they're not going to believe, because he's going to continue to do what he's always done, which is lie. I mean, it came out today, and they're like, "Oh well, Donald Trump has already arrested 300, people in the country who aren't supposed to be here." 300? You mean the same 300 people that the Biden administration had already identified as being in the country illegally? Come on, what's 300 people going to do? You deport 300 people. What is that going to do? There are thousands, millions of people in this country who are here illegally. They're not going to do mass deportation, because it's going to take money out of his sugar daddies, which are people who own the farms and own the meat packing businesses and places like that in the Midwest and in the South, because they're the ones that do the work. He's not going to deport all the people that he claims he's going to deport, because he's going to piss off his sugar daddies. So it's just a game. They'll say, "Oh, we'll go out. We arrested 500 people today." Right. And those 5 people will sit in detention centers for years until they figure out what to do with them. It's all a scam, man. I mean, it's essentially Hollywood, but in DC.
And to sit there and say, well, we're going to deploy shock and awe. What happened to the last group of people that deployed shock and awe?
Yeah, those of us that were in the military that actually served, we know exactly what that meant.
That meant you just went out and did stuff helter skelter, and you messed it up. You messed it up. Shock and awe looks good, sounds good, but it wasn't very successful. And I don't think this shock and awe will be very successful either. So I'm really done with that part of it. So we talked about the part about letting these felons back on the street. We've also brought up the part about what he's trying to do. So we can go line by line on some of the stuff that he's already done that hasn't helped the average American person yet. It hasn't helped the average American person. Now, I don't know how American people think doing this immigration stuff is going to help their day-to-day life. It's really not. It's not going to help their day-to-day life. Okay, so I want to know, since he was put in office because the economy was bad. You're talking about the world's best economy, but it's bad. That's what everybody's saying. What has he done about food prices? Or what has he said he was going to do? Now, I understand he can't get all this done the first day, but what has he talked about that's going to help food prices and gas prices? Because gas prices are going back up, if you haven't noticed it. It's going back up now.
Sure.
Down south, it is. Sure. And so he hasn't said anything that relates to any of that stuff. He has talked about immigration.
He's not going to say anything because most of us in this country understand that the president of the United States has nothing to do with prices. He can get on this bully pulpit and potentially get some of these companies to slow down their price increases. But the majority of the price increases throughout the last 2 to 3 years was not because of inflation. It was because of corporate greed. It's already been proven multiple times before. Corporate greed. These same guys who were sitting on the East Lawn, kissing Trump's butt yesterday, they were the ones that were coordinating amongst other food companies and stuff like that, raising prices. Gas prices haven't gone down because he's in office, because the Saudis and people that we get our oil from recognize that Trump is on their side.
Exactly. Now, I want you to hold on just a second, because that part you pointed out early is so important, and I don't want you to gloss over that. Inflation is not necessarily the biggest part of food prices going up. Corporate greed is.
Yeah,
God, man. I'm telling you, man. I've been sitting here. Everybody that talked to me about it, I keep trying to tell them, is corporate greed, capitalism. It's a byproduct of capitalism. And I've said for years and years, although capitalism can be good, it's got to be redefined in an era of technology. It's got to be redefined. Capitalism got to be redefined. To me, I've been saying that for a long time. But you hit the nail right on the head with corporate greed. So
yeah, I mean, look, we don't even have to go too far. I mean, I'll just give a couple examples. Amazon, right? So Amazon typically has been, over the last 2 or 3 years, raising their prices $10, $15 a year on people who have Prime and Amazon. So what exactly are you getting? I mean, do your packages arrive to you quicker? Do they come in a better package? Are they providing you with better products? I could argue either way, mostly no, but yet they're raising their prices. That's profit. Yeah. That's profit that Bezos and his company are making, right? He had a bid a couple of years ago on where he was going to move his 2 East Coast headquarters, right? Arlington, Fairfax County, where I live, DC, all the jurisdictions around here, broke their backs to get Amazon to move to their area. Why? What does Amazon bring? Oh, they're bringing jobs. Well, what about the tax cuts that you're giving Amazon for moving here? What about the buildings that basically the taxpayers of our jurisdictions built for them? That's corporate greed. Walmart is another one. You go into Walmart. Walmart used to be the place where you can go to and for the most part get everything in there for less price because it was a bulk purchase. Yeah. I can't say that I go to go to Walmart and the prices are that much better than my local grocery store that's around the corner. Mm-hmm. Right? Corporate greed. Gas stations. It takes weeks for us to see a change in prices for the gas thing, probably potentially a month. But when it goes up, it's daily. So
daily it goes. Right. You can go by a gas station in the morning and one price, and in the afternoon it's another price, and then in the evening it's another price.
Yeah, and we know that gas companies don't purchase gas on a daily basis. They purchase it 3 to 6 months down the line.
Exactly.
So they're already gouging you 3 to 6 months before they're going to see the impact. I mean, what was that a couple of years ago? I want to say it was ExxonMobil had a $19 billion profit.
Yeah.
One quarter.
Yeah.
They made $19 billion profit, but yet our gas prices are rising up. Yeah. Eggs. They did a study. There was a Washington Post did a study about eggs, and they found out that the egg companies in the United States were not coordinating. What's it called? Conspiring to ensure that our egg prices remained high. You remember during COVID, we were paying $9 for 12 eggs.
Yeah.
The egg companies conspired. It's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
To make sure that all the prices stayed at a certain thing. That's not inflation. That's corporate greed.
Yep.
And what's this administration going to do? They're going to cut all the regulations out so that there's nobody to watch them continue to do it. And we're the ones that are going to pay the price.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go down this list, and if you want to stop me, you can stop me. But I'm gonna just some of the crazy crap that he's done so far. He declared national emergency at the Mexico border. So if he wants to, he can send not only National Guard but active duty military. That's just not going to happen. I mean, it sounds good. It's just not going to happen, and we know it's not going to happen. But other people don't. So that's just bluster there. Okay. Birthright citizenship. Oh my God. I mean, come on, y'all. Come on. You got to change. You got to act. You cannot change that with an executive order. It has to go through the Constitution. It's already been sued by 25 states or more already, so that's not going to go nowhere. I don't even think the rigged Supreme Court will let that pass. I really don't. I know 2 will vote for it. I know Clarence Thomas and what's the other guy name? Those 2 will vote for it for sure.
Here's what I say. Let's do it. Here's the funny part about it. The majority of people in this country that marry non-Americans are white men.
Yeah.
And white women. So go ahead, do it. If Black folks are not out here for the most part marrying people who aren't in the United States or aren't U.S. citizens. It's them. You're the ones that are doing it. So please go ahead and do it. I've always said from day one is that I don't necessarily agree with it. I think if you come into this country, you should have to give this country something. You should go into the military. You go in the military, you serve time in the military, you should automatically become a citizen. I think if you serve honorably in the U.S. military, we should allow you to become a citizen. But do I think because somebody goes across the border, marries some chick, or goes over to Europe somewhere and finds some Ukrainian or Russian that they want to be married to, and they bring them back to the United States, that their children should be Americans? Absolutely not.
How about military people? Happens all the time with military people. You're going to tell
that's
somebody
different. If you go and you marry a military person, and now, I mean, you go marry them and they have a baby within the first couple of months, I'm going to be giving you the stink eye on that. But people who are married for a few years to a military man or woman and they have a child, hey, I have no issues on because you've given something back to the country. I mean, are we gonna say that
now over in Korea, you got a whole lot of first-time airmen. They ain't been in the military but 8 to 10 months, some of them a year, they meet uh they meet a juicy girl. Next thing you know, she's pregnant. You
Well,
gotta take
are we going to say that the president's children, because they're anchor babies,
exactly. Yeah,
all of them are anchor babies.
yeah. So
I mean,
yeah,
he's married nothing but foreigners. He hasn't married an American woman. Well, one of his wives was American, but the other ones, their mothers are anchor mothers.
yeah.
So
So
are we going to take their citizenship away?
yeah, so yeah, that there we have it right there. So uh Paris Climate Treaty, we out of that again. If I was the world, I wouldn't allow us to get back in it,
I
really.
agree.
Because we're not we're not we're not good partners in it. They can't depend on us. When the president changed, we changed. So if I was that group of people, I wouldn't allow us back in it. You do your own thing. Energy and Environment Executive Order. He wants us to drill in Alaska, like we ain't been drill in Alaska. I mean, once again, that's just bluster. It doesn't really mean anything. And we already talked about DEI. The target thing is transgender. Uh, a whole lot of people got a whole lot of thoughts about transgender. And this is where black people fall in line with him real heavy, like especially black males. We don't want to think that transgenders have a place in America. My thing with that is my religion tell me that yeah, there's a man and a woman, but it also tells me not to be the judge of anybody else. So I believe in man and woman as husband and wife. I don't believe in two men married and two women married, but I can't judge those people, man. I really can't judge those people in good faith. But they're really scared about that. And so hopefully everybody in America work that out through their God, whoever their God is. So
Listen, I don't have much else to say about that. I don't support it, and I've said from day one is that black people should not be using our leverage and our ability as a community to support it,
yeah,
because most of those people in that community turn their backs on us.
yeah,
Most of those people. I mean, I hate to put them out there because I don't particularly care for them, but you look at Bruce Jenner. I mean, Bruce Jenner would have been ostracized and thrown out a window um, before Democrats joined the bandwagon to make that acceptable.
yeah.
But what did he do when he had the opportunity? He changed. He's a
Mm-hmm.
Trump supporter. He's a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
This is a guy that dresses like a woman.
Yeah, yeah.
And as I said, he would have no credibility in this country if it wasn't for Democrats and the policies that Democrats put in place to give people the ability to be who they are. So
And
I said it before and I'll say it again. Black people should not be using our leverage and our ability and our political power to support it.
yeah, exactly. Other things is hiring freeze. Executive orders for affecting federal workers is hiring freeze. They don't want to hire nobody else right now. They want everybody to come back to the office that can come back to the office. We talked about pardons. The other real strange one about the health, the organization.
WHO, the World
Not,
Health Organization. Yeah, he
yeah,
pulled out the WHO, which is stupid.
yeah,
It's stupid. And what's going to happen is what that's going to cause is you're going to have people coming into this country that shouldn't be coming into this country, and you're going to have
sick.
you're going to have sick, you're going to have diseases that we have eradicated years ago: polio, mumps,
Yeah.
measles, diseases like that are going to come back because of these idiots. Now, Donald Trump won't be one. He can sit there and stand up there and say all he wants about,
Yeah.
he's not going to take the medication. It's bullshit. He's going
Yeah.
to take all the medication that's required. He's going to
Mhm.
take all the shots that are required to maintain his
Mhm.
health. But
Exactly.
the rest of the people in the country are going to have to suffer.
Don't have to suffer.
Right, exactly.
I just don't understand that. That's really stupid. That was one.
Well, it's not stupid when you think about him, and he only cares about himself and his family. He doesn't care about anybody else. All those dudes that are running around talking like, he's their savior, he doesn't care about you.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna put people in the CDC that eliminate a lot of the regulations. And then he's not going to be in office when this starts to really take effect. It won't really take effect over the next couple of years. You'll see bits and pieces of it, people getting sick on certain stuff. But the whole fledged pandemic won't happen until he's out of office and he can blame somebody else.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with drug costs and stuff.
Sure.
Because you saw he rolled back the drug cost thing. So what happened is you should always be very, very skeptical about a person that tells you, okay, we're going to take away what you got right now, but we're going to come up with something better. We've heard that before, right? Mm-hmm. With Obamacare.
Yeah.
But they still ain't came up with nothing better.
No, because there is nothing better.
Yeah.
The only thing that's better than Obamacare is universal health care.
Exactly. And that's what we keep trying to say. And okay, so we're going to take away the cap on the cost of insulin now for Medicare and Medicaid people, but we're going to have something better for you. When?
And you got to, I'm sorry to interrupt, Tony, but you got to ask yourself the question. You got to ask yourself the question. Who does having a cap on medication hurt? We know that
Big Pharma,
that diabetes and those type of diseases are rampant in our country.
Yeah,
we know that. So by taking the cap off of it, you're essentially saying all of my sugar daddies and the pharmaceutical companies, I want to ensure that you get the money you want. So I'm going to make Americans who can't afford to pay $7,000 for a medication that you spent $70 to make.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you the ability to make more money. That's all it's about.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if American people were, and I'm not saying that you're dumb or nothing, American people, whoever you are, I'm just saying if you just took the time to look at your medical bill when you got your medical bill, you can see the okie doke that we're going through. You can see it. When they charge you $1,000 for this medication, and then you look down there and your insurance pay them $100. So why would they accept that from the insurance? They're not going to accept it if they're not making a profit. They charge you $1,000. They charge the insurance company $100. Now, if you don't have the insurance, you got to figure out how to pay that $1,000. If you got the insurance company is going to pay them $100. Do you really think they're going to take that loss?
No, that's a negotiated price. I mean, I think I told you. I think I told you that when I had to go in the hospital, I had some heart issues. Ended up having to have a pretty common surgery, but it is a heart surgery.
Yeah.
The total cost for all that, the day I spent in the hospital and then the operation, ended up being like $180,000, something like that. My insurance company paid probably $15,000.
Yeah.
$20,000.
Yeah.
For all of that.
Yeah.
If I didn't have insurance, I would have had to pay $180,000. But because I had insurance, I ended up having to pay like $15,000. Maybe I think it might have been $20,000. But I ended up only having to pay like $1,600.
Yeah.
For everything.
Yeah. Exactly.
My insurance company paid them about $20,000. I paid about $16,000.
Just take the time and look at your insurance bill, and you can figure out the okie doke that the medical field is putting on the American people.
Yep.
All you gotta do is look at it.
Yep.
That's it. Yep. Now the last thing is Doge. The big Doge.
Go ahead. I'm gonna grab something. Go ahead.
So the first casualty of Doge is one of the Doge co-chairman. Vivek is gone for the most part. Have anybody heard anything from Vivek? No, ain't nobody heard anything from him. Elon has pushed him out, and I think Donald Trump wanted him to run for some kind of office or something. So
they wanted to run for governor of Ohio.
So he's the first victim of Doge. You got to go, So we'll see what happened with that.
You know what the funny thing is with that is. The chick from Fox told him 6 months ago what he was.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just now realizing it. You notice he the first brown face victim of,
Mm-hmm.
of Trump administration, right?
Yeah.
He run around kissing their butt. Oh, Trump
Yeah.
is great, and they throw his butt out on the street like they told him.
Yeah.
What's the
And
name?
now
That white
he
woman.
don't even have a he don't
Right.
even have a platform now.
A
Not
white
even
woman
on here.
from I can't think of her damn name. She
Yeah.
basically told him, she said, I like your policies. She said, but I wouldn't vote for you because you're brown.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they told him that. And now all of a
Yeah.
sudden he's seeing it real life.
Yeah, exactly. So they didn't want his face out there with Elon Musk and stuff. And the
Right.
last, and I know I said the last thing, but it's a lot of stuff. Elon Musk with the Heil Hitler German Nazi salute right on national TV, and people are just trying to gloss over it like it didn't happen, you know?
Well, because that's the ADL.
Mm-hmm.
And see, that's the issue what I've always had with the Anti-Defamation League. They
Mm-hmm.
pick and choose what they want to defend when it comes to Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody saw what that was. We know what that was. And
Exactly.
the ADL came out and defended him. This is the same ADL that basically tried to destroy what's the basketball player? The guard that's got the nice handle. Kyrie
Irving, yeah.
Kyrie Irving, right?
Yeah.
The ADL tried to destroy him when all he did was say, I support something that the Black Israelites had to say.
I didn't know they had defended him on that. So what did they
came
say
right out within hours defending him, saying that was not a salute. The ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, came out and defended him. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's
you
what
saw. I'm gonna show you something in a few minutes. This is the last thing dealing with that crap for the week. We're a little over halfway through our show, and I'm gonna go ahead and go into this because I really want to hear what you think about this. And
yeah, go ahead. Let's listen.
We're gonna listen to it.
That you gave our 45th and now our 47th president a millimeter miracle. We are grateful that you are the one that have called him for such a time as this, that America would begin to dream again. We pray that we would fulfill the true meaning of our creed, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. We pray that you use our president, that we will live in a nation where we will not be judged by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, we are so grateful today that you will use our 47th president so we would sing with new meaning, my country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and because America is called to be a great nation, we believe that you will make this come true. So let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. Or from the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous hilltops of California, but God, we're asking you not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and every molehill in Mississippi, from every state, every city, every village, and every hamlet. And when we let freedom ring, we will be able to speed up that day where all of your children, black men and white men, Protestant and Catholic, Jew and Gentile, will be able to sing in the meaning of that old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank you, God Almighty. We are free at last. If you believe where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Come on, put your hands together and give your great God great glory.
That's some ignorant crap.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
go
ahead.
let me just
No,
before
go
I
ahead.
put you on to this, let me just say this. God, please forgive me. You know me. You're working with me. I love you in every way. I'm one of the most blessed men in this world. But I was just hoping lightning would strike him in his mouth, because that is probably the worst thing I've seen in a long time. Go ahead, Susan.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you, I don't have a whole lot to say to that, man. One is that's just gaslighting. But two, man, I mean, and again, I don't mean to get religious, and like you is that our time, man, on here on earth is so short, man, and it amazes me that people who know better. I mean, this guy, I assume, is some type of minister or some type of.
He's a minister in Detroit.
Okay, he's a minister. He knows the truth. He knows what he's doing, and he's doing it for short-term gain, man. And you know as well as I do. I mean, obviously you're a Christian, I'm a Muslim, but we know, man, and God speaks very, very strongly about people like that. And his life, his afterlife is going to be ridiculous. He is going to pay for that. God has always preached against that, man. And I don't understand why people would take what they think they can get here on earth and don't realize that you're going to have to answer. You're going to have to answer to what you do here. And I don't know how you stand before anybody, whether it's whether you meet the prophets of the world before you meet God, or you stand before God. How do you explain what you just said, and how do you explain what you've done to people on the earth? So I would just say that good luck to that guy. I think he's in for a rude awakening, maybe on this life and on this earth, but more than likely in the next life, he is going to be in for a rude awakening.
He took a righteous man's words and used them for an unrighteous cause. I mean, yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna leave it at that and just say, more power to you, brother.
Yeah.
I hope. I don't know how your kids are gonna be able to look at you. I don't know how your grandkids are gonna look at you in the future. I don't even know how your church is gonna look at you, because somebody need to pull your coattail, man. They really do. So we'll go on, man. Enough of that sad stuff. We're gonna put something up there with
yes, sir.
Telling us what we need to do and everything.
All right. Once again, man, we are on social media at X. We're at Gents MS, and we're Spoutable at Gents MS. We have a email, which is gentsmakingsense@yahoo.com. Please email us if you have any comments or concerns. Subscribe. We are trying to get up our subscription up, man. You'll get all of our fresh content this year. We got awesome shows coming up the next 3 or 4 weeks. Please join us. We got some good guests coming on, and we'll see you next time.
Do it now, or I'll hunt you down. Smash like. Do it now, or I'll hunt you down.
So let's get in there. Let's do it. Let's get it going and everything. And hey, man, it was good seeing you again. Hope you stay warm and everything.
Yes, sir.
See you next week, man.
All right, man.